everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Jays Nest. That's right, we rebranded again, third time in a week. Anyways, I think we're going to stick with this one. I got bad news for everybody on this offseason for the Jays. It's good news, but it's bad news. So the bad news is I really don't think there's anyone we can sign except one player. So we need to be all in. And this is like, obviously, we keep Bo Bichette also, okay? But there's only one guy we can sign. And it's all because of two players on the Jays roster. So number one is Ernie Clement. He helps us because he could play any position. He's played all four infield positions defensively. He's also played outfield, only 2 games in the last 2 years, but still, we can move him around and get him bats. Like, we got to get Ernie bats, right? Like, that's the thing. We can't sign somebody at third base and then be like, well, Ernie doesn't play anymore. And we don't want to sign someone at third base and then be like, well, it's between Ernie and Bo. So Ernie could be super utility like Pujols was at the start of his career. Ernie could get his 130 games playing all different positions. That's fine. We can do that. It's not ideal, but it does help the team a lot. It's not ideal for him. It would be ideal for the team. So now let's get to the other problems that we have. So number one, this is the one free agent that's available. Okay. One guy, Phil Bregman. He spurned us last year. We can't play this game again where Phil Bregman uses us as leverage to get the deal he wants. He doesn't sign until February. We need to just move on from him. Don't even use him. If anything, we use him to up salaries on other teams. Hey, Phil, we want this type of deal? Make other teams beat us, but we don't actually want him. This guy turned down, remember, it was at the end, and it was between him and Santander. And he wouldn't sign with us. We wanted him, obviously, because he plays third. Instead, we signed Santander, who I still believe we signed to take over for Vladdy. And then there was just so much pressure, public pressure, peer pressure on the Jays to do something with Vladdy that they caved and did it. So that leaves us with one guy we can sign this offseason. Right here, Makinora. This is the Japanese home run king. He hit 56 home runs last year. He plays third or first, so let's just assume he's Vladdy, right? But he's better at third than Vladdy. So we could sign him, put him at third base, keep Bo, keep Vladdy, obviously, but keep Vladdy at first. And then this guy plays third. He plays 120 games at third, maybe more. Ernie plays 40 at third. Ernie plays 40 at second, backing up Bo. Ernie can back up Bo again at second when Bo moves over to short to play some games for Jimenez. So right there, we're looking at 110 games already for Ernie. Ernie could back up at first, or this guy could go to first, and Ernie could go to third. Ernie could get 130, 140 games in doing that. And if any injuries, even more games, right? So you can do that. You can have 5 infielders and get the bats for everybody. And this guy might not cost as much because he does have some flaws coming from Japan. He's unknown. He might not be the best defensive third baseman there is. He doesn't really hit that high for average over there in Japan, but he does hit for power. So who knows what people are going to want. And most importantly, Dodgers have a first and third and a DH. So they might not need him unless they're going to move on from Muncy or they're going to get this guy a year or two before Freeman's done. So then Seattle, they have a first and third, so they might not need him too. So it might be the perfect signing. And Jays are in on everybody all the time, the big names. So this could be someone they could go after, but he's going to cost a lot. So the main reason why we can only go after him, this is it. This is the Santander contract. So if we're going to sign an outfielder like Cody Bellinger, right? That's the guy we could theoretically go after, Kyle Tucker. That means we have to accept that Santander is worth nothing. Like literally, we gave him $13.5 million signing bonus last year. We paid him $10 million a year, so that's $23 million. And this year's $12 million basically. So we're basically paying him $35 million a year to go away this next year to go away because we got nothing from him last year. So all that money now is what we're going to get out of him this year. We could trade him. We could go to another team and be like, look, we did all the heavy lifting on the contract. So now you're getting a bargain. This guy's only costing basically $10 million and there's an opt out after 2027. That could be an option. But because of him and what he has not produced and what we committed to him last year, And because Springer's come back, this guy can now only DH, 30 games a year for Springer? Okay. And then he can go into right field for Barger, because there's no way we're taking Barger out of right field. So he can play there, 30 games? So we've got 60 games for him. He could go in left, I guess, but he's really poor defensively. But the thought will be that he's our left fielder going into the season, right? That's the thought. It's not going to be Lucas. It's not going to be Straw. They're going to hope that Santander lives up to the contract. So that's our signing. Our this year's signing is last year's signing. So that's why our only option is the international third baseman. That's the only guy we could go after because we know Bregman doesn't want to come to us. But you got to keep Bo first and then go after him. Look at this. This is how little Santander did for Toronto last year. All the Google image searches are still Baltimore. That's how useless he was for us. Okay, so that's my thoughts. It's huge news today that Makinura declared free agent today. So we can start to get plans and worse. And the only thing you got to pay is a tax. That's it. You pay him his contract, and then every 25 millions more in the contract, you got to pay a tax percentage to his Japanese team. Nothing. That's nothing. Rogers, tons of money. Put it to use. Sign him. And then it would be nice to get an arm too, but this is the ideal, perfect guy for us. I also think we can't go into the season thinking, Ernie's a 300 hitter. Like, we got our 300 hitter, 15, 20 home run guy at third base. We're good with Ernie. I don't think so. Ernie's going to regress, go back to what he did in the regular season. He's not going to be playoff all-time great. Like, he broke the all-time hits record in the playoff. We cannot expect that. Sign the Japanese guy. Go international. We try all the time. We always get spurned. I can't even remember. Well, I guess they got Moon 2 months ago, but that's not the major international winter guys. So we always strike out with them, but give it a go again. And I think the big World Series thing, we might be able to get it done. Let me know what you guys think about this, and subscribe, leave a comment.